Welcome to Ignite Technology, where we'll create enriching videos and content on technology.
Hello everyone, welcome to this Python tutorial on Ignite Technologies. This video is aimed at taking us from a beginner's level in Python to an advanced level. So as I've said, this video is for absolute beginners. We do not need any previous knowledge in Python or in programming generally to continue with this video. In case you already have experience with Python or in programming any language, this video is still a good fit for you. So as I've said earlier, this video is going to be focused on taking us from beginners to advanced level. So we are going to talk about everything you need to know to become a full-fledged Python developer. So without further delay, let's dive right in. So before we start setting up our system for Python, I'm going to be answering some frequently asked questions by students. So the first one, what is Python? So Python is a high-level interpreted programming language that is known for its simplicity and readability. Python was actually first released in 1991 and it was released by Guido van Rossum. I don't really know if I pronounced that name correctly. Um, so Python has a big community behind it. As I said, it is very easy to like the syntax is very simple. It's human like. It's almost like speaking normal English. Python is popular because of as I said, it is beginner friendly and it is multi-purpose. You can use it for different things. You can use it for web development, um, data science, machine learning, software development, and many other fields in tech. So Python is very versatile. So in case you're a beginner and this is your first video, Python is a good fit. It's a good way to introduce yourself to programming, even if you don't have intention of, going into production with Python. But Python is a good way to introduce yourself into programming. So why learn Python? So as I said earlier, Python is very beginner friendly and Python has a big community behind it. There's also making it learning very easy because you have so many people you can ask questions, you have so many places you can find content to learn from. So you have so many resources to learn from when if you're learning Python. So Python is very easy to learn. And as I said earlier, Python is multi-purpose. You can use it for different things. You can go into different fields with Python. You can go into web development. You can go into app development. Python is very versatile. Other than Python is also a good way to introduce yourself to programming. Most institutions have adopted Python as the introduction course. Like most university now use Python to introduce computer students into programming because it's very easy to kind of learn, very easy to kind of you know, um, get a hang of and start creating things with Python. So another reason why you should learn Python is because of Python is also in high demand. Though we have languages like JavaScript, which is kind of beating it when it comes in terms of demand, but Python is still in high demand because of its because of we can use it for different things. So a Python developer can work as a data analyst, a Python developer can work as a back-end web developer, a Python developer can work as a mobile app development. So Python is really in high demand in 2025. So as I've said earlier, if you're a beginner and Python is the first language you want to go for, you are doing the right thing because Python is one of the most demanded languages in 2020. So without further delay, let's set up our system for running Python. So to continue with this video, to continue with this tutorial, we are going to need two things installed in our system so that we can actually run Python efficiently on our system. The first one is to get the interpreter for Python. As I said earlier, Python is an interpreted programming language, meaning that we need an interpreter to actually run Python. And the second software we'll be needing is a text editor. A text editor is just like MS Word, but in this situation for programming. The text editor we'll be using for this tutorial will be Visual Studio Code because it is very lightweight and it is one of the most used text editor in programming for programmers. Programmers love using Visual Studio Code. I personally enjoy using Visual Studio Code. So you can still choose from a variety of text editor like PyCharm and the rest. But the one I would advise you to go for is Visual Studio Code because it's lightweight and it is compatible with any operating system that you might be using. So without further delay, let's install Python, install our text editor, and start writing Python code. So first and first, you will need to open a browser. So you can use any browser of your choice, but for this tutorial, I'll be using Edge. So you can use Chrome, Firefox, Opera Mini, any browser of your choice. So the first software we'll be downloading is Python. We're going to be downloading the interpreter for Python. So to download it, we are going to visit Python's official website, which is www.python.org. So this is Python official website. You can visit the documentation and see what is the latest thing in Python. Like this is the official Python website. So anything you need in Python, um this is where you can get it. This is the website where you can get it. This is where you can get your up-to-date information as far as Python is concerned. So but what we want to do here is to download Python. So we just hover on download or click on download anyone. So the latest version of Python currently is Python 3.13.2. This is as of the time when this video was recorded. So maybe when you are watching this video, the time might have changed, or sorry, the version might have changed or might have increased. So in case you're not using a Windows, you can easily click on Mac and download from Mac. But because of I'm using a Windows, I'm going to download for Windows. So I'll just click on download. Okay, it has started downloading. So now, the next thing that we'll be downloading is a text editor. So I'll open another tab. And as I said earlier, the text editor we'll be using for this is VS Code. So we'll just come to the search bar and search for VS Code. So the first link there, we are going to click on it. So so you are going to click on download for Windows. In case you're using another operating system, you're going to see it there. So just click on download your. So it has started downloading. So we can see that our Python file is done downloading. So while we are waiting for VS Code to download, we'll start installing Python. So I can go to my downloads. So I just need to double click on Python. So I'm going to click on add python.exec to path because I want it to kind of be global. I want to be able to access Python from anywhere in my system. So I'm going to click on install now. So while that is installing, I'm also going to start the installation process for VS Code. As you can see, it's done downloading. So I will also double click on VS Code. I'm going to accept the agreement and I'm going to click on next. I'm going to check everything here and click on next, click on install. So Python is installing and VS Code is also installing. They are both done installing. We can see the success message that Python has been successfully set up, and we can also see um, the success message for VS Code. So I'm just going to finish that. I'm also going to launch it so it opens immediately. And for Python, I'm going to close this. But so to ensure that we have Python successfully installed in our system, so what we are going to do, we are going to run a little command line in our terminal. Or if you are using a Windows system, command prompt. So what we are going to search for command prompt in our search bar here. So once that open, we are going to open the command prompt or the terminal if you are using a Mac. So I'm going to run a little line which is Python dash dash version. This is just to know the version of Python installed on your device. So we can see we have Python 3.13.2 installed on my Windows system. So I can type Python to initialize Python. So I have Python running on my system. So right now I can run simple Python code, something like a print statement. So in a bit I will explain what a print statement is, but just follow along. So I'm going to run a print statement that says hello world because we're kind of greeting the world. This is our first Python line and we're kind of greeting the world. So when I run, you see it prints out hello world. So a print statement in the context of programming is just a statement that kind of displays text in your terminal or in your console, any place where you view the output of your code. The print statement is what displays text there. So in Python, the print statement in Python is just print. So remember when I told you that Python is very readable and it's very human-like. So almost everything in Python is just like speaking normal English. How you interact with normal human being. So I just said print hello world and it printed hello world out for us. So I can run other command like print print 1 plus 7. So it gives me 8. So you see, Python can also perform arithmetic operations. So with that, so let me show you how you can also run a Python script. I've shown you how you can run Python code from your terminal. So let me show you how you can run Python script, a complete Python file. So I'm just going to close my terminal. So you can see my VS Code is already open. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm going to create a folder in my desktop. This folder, this is where I'm going to save everything that is associated to this project. So I created a folder and I named it Python tutorial. So I'm going to open this folder in my Visual Studio Code because this is my project folder. So to open a folder in your VS Code, you're just going to come to Files. You click on Open Folder. So this folder I just created is actually saved in my desktop. So I will navigate into my desktop and the name of the folder is Python tutorial. So I'm going to click on that and I'm going to select the folder. So now I've successfully opened the Python tutorial folder. So now to run a Python script, you actually need to have a Python file. So the first thing in creating a Python file is to actually create a file. So I'm going to create a file. We're going to give it any name of our choice. You can give it anything. I'm going to be going with main. So now, this next step is very important. Whenever you're creating a Python file, you need to add the Python extension. In computer, every file you see actually has an extension. The extension is actually what tells the computer what type of file that is and what to run that file with. So the extension for Python is .py, which tells the computer that this is a Python file. You can see that even the icon here has changed to the Python icon. So we have extensions like .png that tells your device that this particular file is a picture or .jpg. So as I've said, the extension for Python is .py. So I'll click enter. So I've successfully created a Python file. So now I can run Python code inside here. So I'm still going to run the same code I ran in my terminal. So I'll say print hello world. So to run this code, we need to save our file. So by default, you're supposed to have an icon here, a play icon here that will kind of ask you to run. You just click on it to actually run. Now we don't have that here because we are here to install the Python extension. which as you can see, VS Code is actually asking me to install. So I'm going to install that extension so that we can have the run button. But I'm going to show you how to also run um a Python file without uh having to run it from your VS Code. You can run a Python script from your terminal. So while that is actually installing, I'm going to show you how you can run a Python script from your terminal. So the first thing to run in a Python script from your terminal is to actually open your terminal. So I can use my command prompt, but VS Code has a terminal that comes with it. So I'm going to use the terminal that comes with VS Code. So I'm just going to open terminal. So open terminal if you wanted to use your terminal. So, but because of I'm using VS Code and I'm in that and I'm in my project folder, it's already located my project folder. So to run a Python file from your terminal, all you need to do is to type Python, then the name of the file that you want to run. So python.py. Remember, you need to be in the directory or rather the folder where the Python file is saved. As you can see, my Python file is saved in my Python tutorial folder as I've said earlier. So that is why I am running it here. So now, as you can see, I'm going from the root of my system to my desktop to my Python tutorial folder. So I'm just going to click on enter. It said, let me print another line. So I want to print I love Python programming because I actually love Python programming because it's very easy. Speaking with experience as somebody that has done a few other languages, so I can tell you Python is like a breath of fresh air. So you can see without having to run Python, the name of the file, you can easily just click on the icon here to run it. Or you can use your command prompt. So any method you want to use to run your Python file, you can use it. So thanks for watching. If this video was useful to you, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. See you in the next section where we'll talk about all the fundamental concepts you need to start with Python. Thank you for watching.